Well, hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this TNA save. If you remember from yesterday, we drained the swamp very controversially, but I don't regret it. I wouldn't take it back for anything in the world. And we are about to see if it works out well like it did yesterday. So, let's go ahead and just get it started, alright? We're on Monday, week 1 of June, and we did about, I want to say a month last week, or yesterday. And we are coming off of a pay-per-view where the Bullet Club debuted, albeit in Puerto Rico. That was a little bit rough. But EC3 is still world champ, and I guess we're about to enter a period where EC3 versus Adam Cole is about to be a storyline. We have Andrew Everett, Trevor Lee, Sami Callihan and Willie Mack, Candice LeRae and Rosemary, Moose and Magnus, and those are our major storylines. As we're gonna go ahead and end Swagger versus Davey Richards. That's pretty over and done. So let's go ahead and advance. We have 3 days before we begin, and I'm actually very excited for this. I believe this is going to be a very entertaining stream for you guys. So we'll see what happens. And, hopefully you guys really enjoy this. That's kind of my biggest hope. So, while we wait, I guess I'm just really excited to see where this is going to go myself, because it's very entertaining that, or the first episode went really well. I did not anticipating it going nearly this well. So, let's just kind of see where this goes here. We have someone watching the stream. I'm not sure who you are, but it might actually be me, because I've kind of got it off to the right side, as you can kind of see here. I like to make sure that anyone who decides to watch live is able to comment and make their voices heard, because I think that that's honestly very key. And we are a Thursday, which means we have a show today. Andrew Everett body type change. He's muscular now. And Cody Rhodes left all the other companies, so now we have Cody Rhodes. He's going to be a main eventer here, so that's pretty cool. And it's time for Impact. So, coming off of a pay-per-view that was honestly less than successful, I am a bit worried that we're going to lose our TV deal, but let's just see what happens before anything crazy happens. So, before we make any crazy moves. So let's go ahead and open up this show with our main storyline. Adam Cole and Ethan Carter III are going to duel it out on the mic. And we're going to have the rest of the Bullet Club out there just kind of chilling. Oh, I guess Matt Jackson is... Oh, well, no. Let's do Adam Cole, Ethan Carter III, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Kenny Omega. That way we have all the Bullet Club out there so that it makes sense after last night. Now we're going to have a one-on-one match to open. And Trevor Lee is going to take his X Division Championship, and he's going to defend it against Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal has kind of been used as a jobber so far, and I plan to keep it that way. Matt Sydal isn't a bad wrestler, but I don't have anything for him as it stands. So Trevor Lee is basically going to get this push. It's not going to be for the X Division title, though. And after the match, Trevor Lee is going to be celebrating, and Andrew Everett's going to come out, and he's going to be like, no, I'm going to come beat you up for a bit. We'll follow this up with a tag team match. Dave Finlay Jr. and Ricochet are going to team up against Roppongi Vice, who, as you guys know, lost the tag team championships last week. And if you haven't seen episode 1, of course, make sure to go check it out because it's pretty lit. And Ricochet is going to win this match. And I want to push these two as my main face tag team eventually. So this is a pretty good way to start that out. Then we want to touch on a couple other storylines. So Candice LeRae will taunt Rosemary. And Candice LeRae, I think that she's probably going to be the future of my women's division. She's very good at what she does, and she has this appeal to younger women, which is something that we definitely need going forward. Alright, Marty Scurll, I'm going to give you a match, maybe, if TEW cooperates with me. And you can face off against Mark Briscoe. And at this point, I think that Marty Scurll would definitely benefit from the win more than Mark Briscoe, so we're going to give him the win. Marty Scurll is someone I want to push to the top. I want to make it a slow, organic build, so we'll see what happens with that. Moose and Magnus we can't really do anything about right now. Well, actually, Bram's going to taunt Magnus. He's going to be like, hey, you have a problem with men hugging other men? Then let's get some singles action. Let's go Rey Fenix and Sami Callihan. And this is going to be a good way to make both people look strong, as Fenix is going to pick up the win. It's going to be an open match, all out. We're going to keep Sami Callihan strong and protect him. And we're going to make it a flash pinfall after a distraction, and Sami Callihan will get distracted by someone. I can't. Willie Mack. That's who it was. And so that way it keeps both guys looking strong, and it actually gets the storyline over a little more. And then Willie Mack's just going to beat the crap out of Sami Callihan. Willie Mack is kind of reminiscent of Stone Cold in a lot of ways, except, you know, he's black and big. And then we're going to follow that up with our women's match, because this is necessary. Christina Von Eerie against Brandy Rhodes. And we're going to have Christina Von Eerie go over, as I really like her look. I think that she's very unique, and I think that if we push her the right way, she could be the face of this women's division. Then we have all these storylines covered now. So we're going to get Adam Cole taunting, or no, we're going to get Ethan Carter III taunting Adam Cole like, hey, if you're a man, meet me face to face, one-on-one, tonight, and I'll put my title on the line. Then we're going to get an upper mid-card match, and I think Davey Boy Smith Jr. is perfect for this, and he's going to face off against Zack Sabre Jr. And last time these two were involved in a match, Jay Lethal beat them both. But this time, Zack Sabre Jr. is going to go over Davey Boy. And then Davey Boy Smith's going to be in the ring when Jack Swagger attacks him, hence setting up a new storyline. And this will allow us to... Well, that didn't work well. If this works right, we will be able to get Davey Boy Smith into the main event. So that's kind of the goal with this storyline. Because Davey Boy Smith is the type of guy, sort of like a William Regal, except, you know, he might actually get a title shot once in a while. And then our main event will be EC3 against Adam Cole for the World Heavyweight title. And EC3 is going to win by DQ in a moment. And there's going to be interference against EC3 by Matt Jackson, by Nick Jackson, and by Kenny Omega. That allows for the title match to work out. It keeps both people strong, and it makes Adam Cole's group look very good. And this will end quite similarly to the way that the match ended last Sunday, where the Bullet Club just beats the crap out of EC3. And I guess we're running it. So to start out, this doesn't do as well as I thought, and I'm going to go ahead and assume it's because the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega aren't quite as over as Cole and Ethan Carter, but I'm okay with that to open. Trevor Lee defeats Matt Sydal, and Trevor Lee suffers costochondritis. I don't know what that is, but I guess Matt Sydal botched, so... after that, Andrew Everett beats up Trevor Lee, so that could be a way to write him off if we have to. Finlay and Ricochet defeat Roppongi Vice. Not a bad match there. Candice LeRae taunts Rosemary. Marty Scurll beats Mark Briscoe, and it's in a very solid match. Mark Briscoe outperformed Scurll, but Scurll did pretty well. Bram taunts Magnus. Phoenix defeats Sami Callihan in a terrible match. I need to note that. Callihan gets beaten up by Willie Mack. Christina Von Eerie defeats Brandy Rhodes. EC3 taunts Adam Cole. And in our main event, we get, co-main event, Zack Sabre defeats Davey Boy. Swagger attacks Davey Boy. And then EC3 defeats Adam Cole. And this match wasn't too bad. Adam Cole could be doing better in ring, but EC3 is definitely our workhorse here. And then the club attacks EC3 to end the show. 55 isn't bad for what it is. Adam Cole is kind of a fresh face in the main event, and he's not that popular yet. So I didn't expect that to go well, but in time, I could be doing some very good things with Adam Cole. So this is probably a situation where we're going to get yelled at again. Yep, we're getting yelled at again. Our TV ratings weren't great this week. Matt Sydal is crippled. No, he's not crippled. He crippled Trevor Lee. Karen Jarrett's match, she hasn't been on TV. Are we moving the needle on Cole's popularity at all? Not really. He's got 40 in America. That could be a problem. Matt Sydal, his popularity isn't going anywhere. How about EC3's popularity? He's at 55. I don't know if we can move the needle up much further right now. But his mic skills are at 85, and that's really good news because we need somebody who can work on the mic. So, overall, show may not have been that successful, but we're getting places. Of course, I've got a few announcements today while we simulate through this. I plan to try and record 6 to 7 days a week depending on my schedule. I will be recording a lot of different content. I want to tell my personal story eventually because I think that's something that is necessary, although I won't be embellishing any details as some people would have it. I also plan on doing several Let's Plays, including maybe some Pokemon emulators, some Town of Salem, some Pixelmon. We'll see what happens with all that. I plan on doing a Throwback Thursday type of thing and maybe some YouTube collaboration, so I've got a lot of content planned. It's just a matter of getting to all of it. And I'm going to do my best to stay active at least through the end of August. So if you guys are interested, just keep subscribing, keep liking these videos. You guys are the reason I do this. I don't do this for myself. I do this for you. Now, of course, we're 15 minutes into the stream, and I've noticed the needle isn't moving much. I don't know if people are actually watching right now. I don't know what I did last time to pop this out into YouTube, and so it's a little rough right now. Like, I can kind of see this live chat, but I'm not sure if it's, not sure if anyone's actually in here posting in the chat. If you are and I'm missing it, I apologize. Oh, hey Arthur, I didn't notice you here. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing with this yet, so How are you, Arthur? So we're about 15 minutes into the stream, and a local to global might be something that I decide to do down the road, Arthur. It's something I've definitely thought about. Oh, I did not mean to stop talking about that, but Dean Ambrose is available. We want him. That is a big contract coming up. Harf Seer I don't really care about. Gerv Seer I don't really care about. We have Moose back. We have Eddie Edwards back. And we are trying to get Dean Ambrose. This could get really interesting. Really fast. So Adam Cole is still a main eventer. I'm very glad about that. If we actually attract Dean Ambrose, first of all, he'd be going under Jon Moxley because that's his independent name, and I think that's the fair way to do it. But, like, that could really help us a lot popularity-wise. So let's go ahead and do Adam Cole and Eddie Edwards. And Adam Cole is definitely not making any friends. So let's go ahead and open this. And Adam Cole and... Or no, we're going to actually spotlight Jack Swagger and Davey Boy Smith Jr. I think that if we have these two talking it out and then fighting, that will bring some attention to that storyline. Now, after that, Cody is here. So let's give Cody Rhodes a match. And he will take on... He'll take on Mike Bennett. Obviously, this roster is getting very big, and I'm having a little bit of issue controlling it, but it's not going very badly yet. So let's go Cody Rhodes in the victory. And then let's go ahead and highlight another feud. Adam Cole is going to talk about how EC3 just wasn't ready for the assault of the Bullet Club. Then we're going to get a tag team match with the returning Eddie Edwards in a team with Jay Lethal. Cody versus Dean could be something we do, for sure. They're going to face off against the Young Bucks. And we're going to make this an 8-minute match. We're trying to stack the card with a bit more star power, because lately we haven't been doing as well in the ratings as we should be. So this could be a way to get better ratings, I think. Then let's get Rosemary. She's going to taunt Candice LeRae. Then, Bram is going to be in a match with Zack Sabre. Bram is going to go ahead and pick up the win. And it's going to be a tainted win because it's going to be outside interference. And the interference is going to be against Zack Sabre by Moose. After the match, Bram is going to get blindsided by Magnus. And that will allow us to continue that feud. Now here's where Eddie Edwards has already been booked. Let's go ahead and give Kenny Omega his singles debut against Laredo Kid, where obviously Kenny Omega is going to destroy Laredo Kid, so that's going to be a thing. And then after the match, Kenny Omega is going to get attacked by EC3, which of course adds fuel to the feud. Then we're going to get a one-on-one match. And I'm sorry about my background noise. My girlfriend is, I'm not even sure what she's doing. I guess she's hungry.
Normal people get hungry after not eating, Mia.
Well, be that as it may. Mark Andrews is going to take on Pete Dunne. And we're going to go ahead and give Pete Dunne a win here because I feel like we haven't given Pete Dunne enough matches. And I want to give him the chance. And then we've gotten a few storylines taken care of. Let's go ahead and get Sami Callihan cutting a promo on Willie Mack. Oh, if we get Ambrose and Callihan. Ooh, that could be fun. And then let's get a one-on-one match. Let's go ahead and give our females a match. And this time, let's put our women's champion in the match. And she will take on Nixon Newell. Rosemary's going to win.
Who's Rosemary?
Rosemary is a creepier character who TNA had as part of this group called the Decay. I guess that, I'm not sure if the Decay or the Y family came first, but it's sort of one of those types of things. It's a creepy group is basically all you need to know about it. And then
what was its creepy group gimmick?
I really don't know enough about TNA to answer that question. But what I do know is that Candice LeRae attacks Rosemary, and that's a good thing. So then our main event, we'll see John Morrison taking on Jack Swagger in a match reserved only for the true hell of WWE CW 2008. And Swagger's going to win.
Alright.
And that's going to be for the World Television Championship. And after the match, Davey Richards is going to attack Jack Swagger to end the show. And let's begin. So, a decent opening segment. Oh, that opening match is beautiful. A 66, we needed that. Adam Cole taunting EC3 was decent. Eddie Edwards and Jay Lethal teaming up against Generation Me was decent. But Nick Jackson getting a tricep strain, that kind of hurts. Rosemary taunting Candice LeRae went well. Bram and Zack Sabre was decent. Magnus runs in and attacks and beats up Bram. And Moose doesn't help. Omega defeating Laredo Kid and kind of carrying that match. EC3 attacks him. Mandrews and Pete Dunne had pretty good chemistry, so that went well for an opener match. Callihan taunts Willie Mack. Rosemary defeats Nixon Newell. Rosemary gets attacked by Candice LeRae. And our main event gets another 66 before a 50 to end this show. So a 61, that increased our popularity in 27 regions, and I think that's only the second time we've gone totally positive. So that was really needed. That was probably our best show to date, so that's always good to see some form of progress. Oh, the WWE has a rival bid for me. Let's see. Exclusively in ring, events, or everything except house shows. We're going to use you as a special attraction. I guess Ambrose's main thing is that he wants money. We can go up to 40 if we need to, but much higher would kind of be suicide. And that works. So let's go to our medical. And Nick Jackson can keep working through his tricep strain. So let's advance to Impact, week 3 of June. Let's pause one moment for me to go get a pillow. I was going to say station identification, but that's super lame. So I'll be back in one moment. And I am back with an email. And Caleb Conley's contract is ending, and that's okay because I'm not really a big fan of Caleb Conley. He really hasn't done much to appease me lately, and I just don't really need him on the roster, so I'm not going to complain about that too much. And it looks like since WWE didn't counter, we've got Ambrose, so that's pretty cool. And we have a decision. Oh, Desmond Xavier wants more money. Here, you can have 75%. I'm nice. No, you don't like that? Well, screw you. Brian Hebner's contract is ending, and he's actually our best ref. So it'd probably be pretty nice if we don't lose him. Moving on to Monday. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing if we get Dean Ambrose, because that could be a really big boost to our program. Well, as we move forward, I think that the feud that we're booking between the Bullet Club and EC3 is gold. I think EC3's mic skills are really carrying it, and I'm really hoping that it continues that way. And we have a decision. Brian Hebner has officially rejoined us, and there is a rival bid on Dean Ambrose. Beautiful. He's seriously considering both offers. And giving him I can't be lower than mid-Carter status just did it. I may have Dean Ambrose by tomorrow. Obviously, he's got to finish up his WWE bookings, but it'd be nice to sign Ambrose. Definitely probably the most popular star we'd have, without a doubt. And we have another notification. Nick Jackson is fully fit. He has recovered from his injury. So let's go to our roster really quickly. I like Simon Grimm, but we're not really doing anything with him at this point. I'll leave him for now, actually. I don't know. What I need to do is I need to go to any push, male superstars, and a wrestler. Yeah, we have too many people on this roster for me to keep track of. So let's cut Desmond Xavier. And actually, let's go to PPA contracts because there are quite a few people on there that I don't really need. Let's let you go. Al Snow, you're a road agent. Why are you on this list? Seidel, you've injured several people, and I don't really want that here. Joey Ryan, I thought it was a good idea to sign. Well, oh, never mind. People like you. We'll keep you. Garza and Laredo can stay because they're kind of jobbers. Mahabali Shira, I'm not doing anything with. Caleb Conley only has a month left, so let's go ahead and release him. Yeah, that actually probably makes the roster a lot thinner, which is what we need. Adam Cole falls from an upper mid, but he can get back to main event pretty easily, so I'm not worried about that. And so we go to week 3 of June. Davey Richards passes psychology to Kyle O'Reilly. Locker room controls. Let's go Chris Sabin and Dave Finley Jr. And nothing there. That's unfortunate. Finley could really use the help. So let's go to a modern TV opening singles. And this time, let's spotlight the women. It's not going to be the greatest opening segment in the world, and I'm aware of that. But maybe if we have this open the show, they'll do better. And then let's get a one-on-one match. Simon Grimm, let's see what you can do. Against... Let's do Will Ospreay here. Ospreay honestly has all the talent in the world, and I am planning to push him hard. But it's hard when my X Division title is currently taken up to do much in the way of what I want to do with him. So that's kind of delaying things. Then Ethan Carter III, EC3, is going to be like, Adam Cole, you can't even win a match without your boys, the club. And it's very obvious. So when we meet next week, it's going to be a Hell in a Cell match, and you will not be allowed to bring your phonies. Or something to that effect. I don't know. You get the point. Let's see. Jay Lethal's coming off a loss last week. Let's put him on a winning streak while protecting Bram. Lethal's going to beat Bram in a storytelling match. And there's going to be botched interference against Bram by Moose. And that continues to make Bram look strong. Then after the match, Bram is going to be like, Moose, what the heck, man? You can't keep coming to ringside and interrupting my matches. It's just not a thing. Then we get a one-on-one match between Io Shirai and Melissa Anderson. And Melissa Anderson's actually going to win this one. Io Shirai can recover. Melissa Anderson needs something to kickstart her in this Knockouts division. Then we'll get a taunt. Jack Swagger is going to be like, Davey boy, I am an American and you are a Brit. And that instantly means that I'm better than you. And then he's going to go on to list the reasons why the British suck. And the TNA crowd's going to chant, Jack Swagger, Jack Swagger. Because that's how it goes. Willie Mack, meanwhile, we are going to have him face off against Trent Barrett. No. Nobody here can really afford the loss, but Joey Ryan is on a PPA deal. And at worst, we can cut him. And I'm sure these two will work well together. So we're going to try and get Willie Mack to lower mid. After the match, Willie Mack is going to get beaten up. If I can get the right angle. Willie Mack is going to get beaten up by Sami Callihan. And then we're going to get a triple threat tag team match. We're going to get Red Dragon, the Briscoes, and Generation Me in this triple threat tag team match. And the winning team will face the Motor City Machine Guns at the next pay-per-view. And of course, the Young Bucks have to win to continue with their massive push. And then after the match, after the match, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin are going to attack Matt and Nick Jackson. Then we're going to get a one-on-one match. And this is where we're going to use Moose against Adam Cole. Adam Cole is going to win in a storytelling match when It'll be a cheap DQ win because there's going to be interference against Moose by Magnus. Interference, the reason I do so much interference is because it furthers storylines, and there are some storylines that really need to be furthered. Then Moose will be attacked by Bram because Bram wants nothing to do with Moose. He thinks Moose is a piece of crap. And then our main event will be Eddie Edwards taking on Cody Rhodes. And I think this will be a really fantastic match. I'm not sure if it will play out that well, but it should be a fun match to watch at least. So let's go with a storytelling, open, slow build match. Cody Rhodes is going to win. And then to close out the show, we're going to see a backstage brawl between Jack Swagger and Davey Boy Smith Jr. Tilly, all you've missed is about a couple weeks. The Bullet Club is taking over, and that's pretty much what's going on. So, in this segment, we had a 49 to open the show. I wanted to give the women a chance, and it wasn't too bad. Will Ospreay beats Simon Grimm. EC3 taunts Adam Cole, and EC3's mic skills are very good. I expected more out of him. Lethal beats Bram. We're not going to turn Moose yet. Then Bram's going to taunt Moose and be like, hey, you're a piece of crap. Melissa Anderson defeats Io Shirai. Jack Swagger taunts Davey Boy. Willie Mack defeats Joey Ryan. Tilly, that may be a thing. Do not count that out yet. Sami Callihan attacks Willie Mack. Then we get Red Dragon, the Briscoes, and Generation Me, where Generation Me wins. We're having a super kick party in here. The Motor City Machine Guns attack Generation Me. Moose losing to Adam Cole by DQ because Magnus cost Moose the match. Then Bram's gonna attack Moose and be like, hey, I don't need you. Cody Rhodes defeats Eddie Edwards in a 64 to end the match portion. And then Davey Boy and Jack Swagger brawl to end the show. So 62, another very positive match, or another very positive show. That's 2 weeks in a row we've gone totally positive, and we needed that. And, you know, we've got... Oh, Tilly, you did miss something big. We might actually have Dean Ambrose on the way. Because his contract expired. Dean Ambrose has just signed to TNA. I'm going to have him come in as a heel. He won't be in for 19 days, but when he's here, I cannot wait to use him. We are going to use him as Jon Moxley. And his gimmick is going to be... Oh, well, we'll just use Crazy then. The under position of BJW is available, but I don't really care about it. So that is deleted, and we move on to Impact Week 4 of June 2017. And as per usual, I will be streaming a month's worth of this, and that way we don't burn ourselves out on this, you know. But so far, Draining the Swamp has been very successful, I would say. And we already have Dean Ambrose coming by probably the end of the month, maybe early July. So that's going to be really good going forward. One of the feuds that I do plan to do, we'll get to the X Division actually, because there is something I want to do with that. I think the pay-per-view about the X Division comes, I want to say somewhere, it's either May or July. I'll look at the schedule when we get the chance. But one of the big matches I want to do that isn't X Division related is Dean Ambrose against Ethan Carter III. Or should I say Jon Moxley versus EC3. I think that could be a really fun match for EC3 if he retains the title beyond the Adam Cole encounter, which I'm not overly sure what I'm doing yet. So we'll see what happens. Of course, I thank you all for tuning in again because it's really nice to see that I have repeat people coming. That kind of shows me that I'm having some sort of impact on your lives, even if it is something minor like a video game. So thank you so much for coming back and visiting us again. And we're going to be recording probably 6 to 7 days a week, as I mentioned earlier on in the stream. I plan on recording a lot of different things such as Pokemon, Pixelmon, maybe some Town of Salem, a lot of TEW. There's going to be some really cool stuff. And Rey Mysterio, speaking of the devil, is crippled. Oh no, Triple H. I didn't notice. The Bruiser Brody tournament, that could be done. But I think you'll appreciate my plans for Dean Ambrose too. I don't know, we'll see what happens. So let's go into the schedule. And Destination X is in July. I was right. At least partially. So let's do a little more clean out here. Let's get rid of Karen Jarrett because she's kind of wasting contract spots or contract space. And Jeff Jarrett really isn't doing anything for me as a road agent. We have Al Snow for all our good road agency needs. And let's go ahead and try and lock Al Snow up for a written deal. And let's make sure that he's not involved in ring work. That, now that the Jarretts are gone, that clears up a little more roster space, which means that we can hire more people. So let's move forward. Davey Richards passes more psychology on to Kyle O'Reilly. This is going really well for Kyle O'Reilly. Then let's go Cody Rhodes against Davey Richards. I apologize for that sound. I shut Skype off. Let's go with a modern TV opening. And this time, we're going to go Jack Swagger and Davey Boy Smith. Where are you, Davey Boy Smith? Are you a mid-carder now? Are you crippled? Did you die? I'm very confused. Oh, he's a mid-carder now. Lovely. Well, that can open the show. Let's get a one-on-one match. And actually, let's start this show with a bang. Adam Cole is going to take on Eddie Edwards. That match hasn't happened yet, so that's a fresh matchup between two people that both have a lot of talent, but Adam Cole needs to go over. I need Adam Cole to get over for this storyline to work properly. And Adam Cole's going to be like, hey, I did it without the club this time. And then here comes EC3 to kind of ruin his life. Then we'll get a tag team, let's get a 6-person match, actually. And this will be the #1 contender for the X Division Championship, which, of course, Andrew Everett has to win. As I'm sure it doesn't take a genius to figure out. Do we not have any heels? Okay, good enough, Tyler Bate. You worked for what we're doing. Adam Cole, honestly, will likely go to NXT. He would be crazy not to at this point. A lot of his friends are there. Honestly, WWE is such a great opportunity for him, and NJPW just isn't cutting it at the end of the day. So Andrew Everett is the new #1 contender for the X Division Championship, and now Trevor Lee's going to beat him up. So I guess turnabout is fair play. Then let's have a one-on-one match. And this will be between Kyle O'Reilly and Eli Drake. Eli Drake, I feel like, has a lot of talent. I just can't use him to his fullest potential at this point. So, yeah, Adam Cole did get kicked out of the Bullet Club in real life, but for our purposes, he's leading the Bullet Club in TNA. I kind of did that because I wanted to try and get Adam Cole over as fast as possible, and because I have some future plans for that feud. So, like I said, stay tuned. You're going to see some really interesting stuff later on. And Candice LeRae is going to cut a promo on Rosemary. Then let's get a one-on-one match. It's going to be Bram against Magnus. And our special guest referee is going to be Moose. Welcome, uninteresting YouTuber. I know you're from the page that I put the stream on. Not really sure who you are again. You're going to have to kind of enlighten me. We're going to have Bram win because of a screwy referee. Because Moose is going to turn on Magnus, which cements Moose's heel turn. Man, I really wish we could just, like, do Magnus as a face, but that's just not going to happen. But this storyline doesn't make as much sense as it should. And that's okay. So Magnus is going to get 2-on-1 by Moose and Bram. Then we're going to get our women's match. Brandy Rhodes again, or no, let's go Nixon Newell against Christina Von Eerie. And Von Eerie is going to continue to pick up momentum. Then we're going to have Willie Mack taunt Sami Callihan. 91 minutes left. We're going to do one match as our main event. And we're going to make it a 3-on-3. We're going to go EC3, Jack Swagger, and Mike Bennett against Kenny Omega, Nick Jackson, and Matt Jackson. Basically, the Bullet Club is going to take on the faces. And kind of my thought here is that we're going to let the heels go over. We're going to make sure that Mike Bennett eats the pin since he's not really doing anything interesting right now. And Kenny Omega is going to get the victory because I want to build Kenny Omega up for later. Mike Bennett is pretty popular though. I want to do something with him. I'm just not overly sure what to do with him. And then our big main event is going to be Adam Cole and Ethan Carter III on the mic doing a contract signing. You're not wrong, uninteresting YouTube commenter. You're not wrong at all. And I got rid of a lot of the people who, in TNA, they've just kind of overstayed their welcomes. They're older, you know. I drained the swamp, and now I'm rebuilding the brand, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day. So we're going to have this contract signing with the Young Bucks at ringside. And we're going to run this show. Swagger Davey Boy actually worked a lot better than I thought it would. Unfortunately, Davey Boy can't speak on the mic. Adam Cole defeats Eddie Edwards. EC3 attacks Adam Cole. Andrew Everett defeats Will Ospreay, Phoenix, etc. Trevor Lee attacks Andrew Everett. Kyle O'Reilly defeats Eli Drake. Candice taunts Rosemary. Bram defeats Magnus. We have the Moose turn. It wasn't as great as it could have been. Von Eerie defeats Newell. Willie Mack taunts Sami Callihan. EC3, Jack Swagger, and Mike Bennett defeat the club. Jack Swagger's injured. That's fantastic. And then the contract signing. And 56. That's our worst show in 3 weeks, but we did some good things. So we've got one more show, and then the stream will end. unfortunately, but I will be continuing to stream. We should have something up tomorrow. I'm thinking about maybe a collaboration, but if that doesn't happen, look for either more TNA or maybe some WWE. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens with that. Let's go look at medical. Well, first Magnus. Medical. Swagger is out for 29 days. Beautiful. Now he's out for 23. That means that this storyline is on halt. That's probably going to hurt us in the long run. So let's move on to Slammiversary. And this should be our biggest pay-per-view of the year, but it's not. It's just not. I'm going to sit here and be honest. We haven't built this thing nearly enough. But it should still be a solid pay-per-view. Eventually, we're going to get kicked off our current deals. And I'm okay with that because I'm not really going to cry if we have to take a lesser deal. I'm just lazy and don't want to do it right now. Yeah, so draining the swamp. This catchphrase came originally a few days ago when I think it was actually yesterday. Tilly, I may do that. It was yesterday during the YouTube recording collaboration with Rybolt, and I said draining the swamp is kind of a joke, that I was going to drain the swamp, but it ended up actually getting over really well with people yesterday, and so that was the title of my first episode. Now we're rebuilding the company, honestly, rebuilding the brand, making it different. And now it's time to go live from Slammiversary, where our main event, of course, is a Steel Cell match, wherever that is. Do we not have a Steel Cell? Really? Really? Okay, that's... Create match type. Steel Cell. No DQ, no countout. Pinfall, submission, stoppage are probably the only ways to win. We're going to make this a high prestige match. We're going to do average injury risk. I'd say average content risk. I'd say it has name value, and it's not a default match. Yeah, so I changed this to TNA because I felt like a lot of the reason why they changed TNA over is because they just... How do I put this? Did I not save the match? Did I really not save the match? I feel like a lot of the reason they changed the branding was because they could, not because it was necessary. And I really like the TNA name, so I went ahead and kept it. Yeah, no, I'm very happy with this company. It's just a matter of, like, now that we've signed Moxley, it really depends on how well he gets over. Match type, let's see, regular, high prestige, average injury risk, average content risk, match prestige is high, match held in the ring, because it is held in the ring, has name value, but it's not a default match, and save this time. Oh, it's in here. Actually, how much money do we have? We are up to 661,000. We lost money last month, but so far we are gaining money. So it's a lot better than it was, to say the least. Can we not do a steel cell match? Well, that kind of messes up my plans. Let's do a cage match then. So Adam Cole versus EC3 in a steel cage. And actually, this might make things easier for me. World Heavyweight Championship on the line. EC3, Adam Cole needs to win. And I hate doing this because it feels like we're hot-shotting the title. We need to protect EC3. Is it under cage? No, these are all steel cage matches. Cell isn't popping up for me. Well, let's see. That's fine. We can do a cage escape. Not a big deal. Adam Cole against EC3. We'll main event in a steel cage. We're gonna make this 25 minutes for the world title. And Adam Cole has to go over for this to work. Open, slow build, protect EC3. It's going to be a tainted win. And there's going to be interference against EC3 by the Young Bucks. After the match, we're going to get a Bullet Club celebration. So that takes care of that storyline. Then we need to do Moose and Moose. So because of that last thing, Moose and Bram are going to team up against Magnus. So let's do a wild brawl for this. And let's have Moose win, but it's going to be very tainted, not decisive. It really is a shame, but I understand that Adam Cole will probably be moving on to bigger and better things, and I think that that's good for him. Dean and Magnus, I could definitely see that, but Dean isn't here yet, so we can't really do anything about that yet. So next up, we're going to do Andrew Everett versus Trevor Lee one-on-one for the X Division title. We want this to work the crowd, and we want Trevor Lee to pick up the win. No, actually, we want Andrew Everett to pick up the win, because we want Andrew Everett to look like he can win. We want to protect Trevor Lee, and we want to make this a DQ finish. No, we want to make this an intentional DQ. No, yeah, intentional DQ. Ambrose will be back, or Ambrose will be here pretty soon, so after the match, we're going to have Andrew Everett get blasted by Trevor Lee one more time. And this is going to lead to that last man standing match I talked about in the first episode. It's just a matter of we've got to get through the other stuff first. We got to build it up, you know. Then we're going to get a one-on-one match. It's going to be a women's match. Yeah, we're not going to do the sex stuff. I'm not into that. Like, I'm pansexual, but like, And that means I'm attracted to mostly everyone, but
Frying
for
pans.
the love of God, like, I don't need to see sex appeal in women's wrestling to be entertained by women's wrestling. So Rosemary is going to win because of interference against Candice LeRae. And we're going to make that Christina Von Eerie costing her. And that will allow Candice and Rosemary to both move on to different feuds. And I don't know why I put the X Division title, but I guess that's a thing. So we're going to have that between this Magnus Moose Bram match and Adam Cole EC3 to calm it down. Then we're gonna put Kenny Omega in a match against Mike Bennett, 1-on-1. And we're gonna have Kenny Omega go over. Then we're gonna get that tag team match. The Machine Guns against Generation Me, and I'm sure you've guessed by now, the Bullet Club need to win these tag titles. And then after the match, we'll scrap the after the match stuff. Tilly, you might be right. Rosemary's totally Trevor Lee. That might be a thing. Alright, so then we're going to have a triple threat match next to determine to give the winner of this a future world title shot. Cody Rhodes, Davey Richards, and John Morrison in a triple threat. Or actually, let's just make this a normal match, just for the heck of it. Cody Rhodes is gonna win. And then finally, let's do a 10-man battle royale to get some people on the card. And let's go ahead and make Marty Scurll the winner here. And Eddie Edwards is going to be like that. Jay Briscoe is going to be like that. This might take a while. Ricochet's unhappy. There we go. The whole thing is that we want to push Marty Scurll. He's the future of this company. Alright, I did that in the wrong order. Whatever. Marty did win Tilly. Magnus losing to these two. Generation Me defeating the Motor City Machine Guns. Marty Scurll wins a Battle Royale. Davey Boy Smith's injured now. Really? This triple threat's decent. Kenny Omega defeating Mike Bennett in a 69. Kenny Omega I need to watch out for. I want to push him, but I don't know quite how I'm going to do it yet. Adam Cole defeating EC3, and end the show we get a 57. Not great, not poor. I don't know. That could have been a lot better. But, I mean, we did another month, and we got some progress going for sure. Adam Cole, bona fide main eventer now. I don't think anyone can question that. And we have several storylines that are going to continue, so let's go ahead and check awards really quickly. The Golden Lovers are the tag team of the year. Are you serious? Okay, well then. Nothing very major there for us. We didn't really win much. Kyle O'Reilly and Mac Jackson don't connect with the fans, I guess. Al Snow, you are now officially my road agent. You all did really well. You can all take some money. I know that just cost me a bunch of money, but I made money last month, so I'm not really worried about it. So let's look at my main event scene before we finish up for the day. We have heel, 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 face, heel, 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 face. Oh, great. Cody Rhodes, we need to turn you face. I'm going to go look at... Well, no, Kota Ibushi's written, I think. Let's see. So there's that, and I think that about does it for this month. So this is going to be probably the end of the stream. I appreciate you all tuning in. We're going to do episode 3 next week sometime. Hopefully, I'm targeting either tomorrow or Tuesday, so we'll see where that goes. But for now, guys, this is Mia saying so long, and thank you for watching.